In this video, we're going to share an effective way to tell God's story. So let's say that you've been building bridges with people. You've taken time to listen to them and ask good, wondering questions to find out their story and to find out where they are at spiritually. You may have shared bits of your own journey, your own story, which relates to their journey of discovery. And then one day the conversation turns, or they ask you a question, or maybe you just sense now's the time to share God's story with them. Well, how do you go about that? How do you say it concisely without being too simplistic and without being too complicated? Well, this is where the 3 circles, as we affectionately call it, has proven to be an effective tool. You can be in a bar or cafe and grab a napkin or a piece of paper and draw it out for someone. It can be used to share God's story, to find out where they're at, to see if they're ready to trust and follow Jesus there and then, or whether they want to think about it some more. Or it can be used as a springboard to invite people to explore what it might mean to follow Jesus through, for example, discovery, Bible stories, or Alpha. So watch now as Nat demonstrates for us how to present the 3 circles.
You and I know that we live in a very broken world. There's lots of pain, suffering, evil, and brokenness. And if we're honest, we all have things in our own lives that are broken as well. This is not the way things are meant to be. In the beginning, God created a world that was full of love. We lived in perfect relationship with God. We enjoyed his love and followed him, and we loved each other. So what went wrong with this perfect world? We turned away from God. We chose to do things our own way. We chose to be king of our lives. The Bible calls this sin. Sin and self-centeredness are at the heart of all that is wrong and broken in the world. Our relationship with God is broken, and if it's not restored, we will be separated from God's love eternally. We can try to escape this brokenness through drugs and alcohol, fame and money, relationships or self-help, but none of these things can fix us. Like a bungee cord, we find ourselves pulled right back in to the place of brokenness. God still loved us, and he saw that we couldn't save ourselves. So he provided a way out for us, a rescue plan. To heal our brokenness, God sent his son Jesus. Jesus never sinned, but he died on the cross for our sin so that we can be forgiven. And he rose again from the grave, conquering sin and brokenness. Now he is king over everything. He rules, not us. So how do we get out of our brokenness? Well, we turned away from God, and now we must turn back to him and put our trust in Jesus. And make him king of our lives. When we do this, he forgives our sins and gives us a new life and restores us back to God's perfect plan. Now we live a new life by God's power, and we follow Jesus, doing what he wants. Everything Jesus wants us to do can be summed up in 6 words. Love God, love people, and tell others. If we love God and we love people, we will go back to those who are still in their brokenness and tell them the good news that we have found and invite them to follow Jesus. So where would you say you are at right now? Where would you like to be? Is there anything stopping you from turning back to God now, trusting Jesus and living a new life following Jesus as King?
So I hope you found that helpful. It's certainly worthwhile taking time to learn this tool. I know that I did, and I found it to be very useful. And you never know when you'll need it. The key is to journey alongside people, to build relational bridges, to take time to discover their story by asking good questions and listening well, to share snippets of your own story which are relevant to them and which will help them. And in that context, to look for and pray for opportunities to share his story. So it's important to be ready. So why not spend some time now learning how to share God's story?